When life feels heavy and rushed, let me speak openly with you for a moment. There are days when life feels overwhelming, like everything is happening at once, and you're expected to keep up no matter the cost. The world keeps accelerating, and you feel pressured to run faster just to survive. You chase goals, chase success, chase approval, chase stability. And still, it feels like nothing is truly secure. Right in the middle of that exhaustion, God speaks softly to your heart and says, "Slow down." At first, that message may sound strange, almost irresponsible, because we live in a culture that celebrates busyness and equates rest with failure. If you're not constantly pushing, you feel like you're falling behind. But God is not asking you to stop caring or stop showing up. He's asking you to stop forcing what He is already arranging. When God invites you to rest, He isn't telling you to quit. He's inviting you to trust, to believe that what is meant for you cannot miss you. You don't need to pursue it with anxiety, fear, or desperation. What God has prepared for your life will arrive through faith, patience, and peace, not panic. The same God who formed the universe is carefully aligning the details of your journey. Think about Abraham. He received a promise that seemed impossible, and then he waited, year after year. In that waiting, doubt surely crept in. He may have wondered if God remembered him at all. He even tried to make things happen on his own. But the promise only came when the timing was right. Not Abraham's timing, God's. That's why God says rest. Because rushing doesn't help, fear doesn't help, stress doesn't help. But trust prepares your heart for what's coming. Rest positions you to receive. It opens your heart to blessings, opportunities, breakthroughs, and favor that are already set in motion. I know it's difficult to slow down when financial pressure is real. I know it's hard when doors keep closing or when everyone around you seems to be moving ahead faster. But remember this, the God who commands the wind and the waves also holds your life. If He can part seas, He can remove obstacles. If He can multiply what seems insufficient, He can multiply what you've been waiting for. If He can bring life where there was death, He can revive your dreams. So what does it actually mean to rest in God? It means letting go of the constant mental strain of trying to figure everything out. It means loosening your grip on the future and allowing God the space to work beyond your understanding. Resting is faith lived out. It's saying, God, I don't see the full picture, but I trust you enough to release control. And when you do, something shifts. Peace replaces anxiety. Joy begins to grow. Strength returns. Doors open in unexpected ways. Because life is not about relentless effort, it's about alignment. And when you are aligned with God, what you need arrives exactly when you need it. Today, hear His voice. Slow down. Stop obsessing over timelines. Stop forcing outcomes. Stop moving from fear. Walk in faith, walk in peace, walk in confident expectation. God is never late. He is never behind. He is always faithful. Even now, He is working on your behalf. What you're believing for is coming. Your breakthrough is approaching. And when it arrives, it will be greater than you imagined, because it comes from a God who knows you deeply, loves you completely, and provides abundantly. So trust Him, rest in Him, and watch Him move in ways only He can, learning to trust God's timing. Trusting God's timing is one of the most challenging lessons we face. We live in a world obsessed with speed, instant answers, fast results, immediate success. From the moment we wake up, we are surrounded by pressure to hurry, compete, and prove ourselves. Social media constantly reminds us of what others are achieving, making it easy to feel behind. But God gently reminds us of a deeper truth. Your life is not governed by human urgency. His promises do not operate on your schedule. Sometimes what He has spoken over your life unfolds slowly, quietly, and in ways that don't make sense to your logic. That does not mean He has forgotten you. It means He is working with intention and precision. Throughout Scripture, God's timing often looked delayed, yet the outcome was extraordinary. Joseph spent years in betrayal, prison, and obscurity before stepping into leadership. Every delay was preparation. Abraham and Sarah waited decades for a child, but the promise they received reshaped history. God's timing stretches your faith, but it always delivers what is best. Faith is not passive waiting. It is active trust. It is choosing to believe that even delays and disappointments are shaping you for something greater. One of our greatest struggles is wanting God's promises immediately and according to our own plan, but God's ways often exceed what we can imagine. His blessings arrive through paths we never anticipated. Patience grows through practice. It is learned by waiting without panic and believing without proof. It teaches us to surrender control and lean on God rather than our own understanding. And hope, real hope, anchors your soul even when circumstances feel uncertain. Trusting God's timing also means resisting comparison. Your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. Your season is unique. God is not only concerned with when things happen, but with who you become while waiting. Just like a seed grows unseen before breaking the surface, your promise may require a hidden season before it is revealed. Letting go and finding peace. Letting go is one of the most countercultural acts of faith. We are taught that control equals security, but God invites you to release what you were never meant to carry alone. Resting is not weakness. It is surrender. It is faith in motion. Worry adds nothing to your life. Fear does not accelerate God's plan, but trust creates space for His power to move. When you stop controlling every detail, God begins aligning circumstances beyond your imagination. Rest shifts your focus. Instead of staring at problems, you begin to see the provider. Instead of dwelling on delays, you recognize preparation. Peace becomes your strength. Trust becomes your anchor. God does not ask you to carry the weight of His promises, only to believe them. And when you finally release control, something beautiful happens. Faith grows, joy returns. Your life becomes a testimony of God's faithfulness. Expecting the unexpected, faith-filled living means believing that God can move in ways you never planned for. His blessings often arrive wrapped in surprise. David never expected a crown. Esther never planned to save a nation. Ordinary people encountered extraordinary outcomes because they trusted God beyond what made sense. Expecting the unexpected is not wishful thinking. It is confidence rooted in God's character. It is believing that even when progress feels invisible, God is still working behind the scenes. Patience is active faith. It trusts God's process even when answers are delayed. It releases the need to control the how and the when and allows God to exceed expectations. When you surrender control, you create space for miracles. Final encouragement, resting in God, is a declaration of faith. It says, God, you are greater than my fear, stronger than my uncertainty, and faithful beyond my understanding. When you choose trust over control, peace over pressure, and faith over fear, Everything begins to align. Relax, trust, expect God to move, because He always does.